Hi everyone, my name is Shelly and this is my FlossTube video, Oh My Ada. This is only the second FlossTube video I've created using that name, but my previous name was So Much to Learn. Thank you for coming back if you've seen me before. If you haven't seen my videos, welcome. I appreciate the support. Today I want to talk about the HAULoween and happy birthday Sal, as well as hot air balloons. I'll put the hot air balloons at the end for those of you that aren't interested in that discussion, but I want to jump right in with haul. For my birthday last year, I took a vacation and went to Reno, and I gambled a little bit. Well, this year, the school district I work for decided that we needed to have last week off. And I thought, I want to do something I've always wanted to do, and I can check it off my bucket list. I wanted to go to the hot air balloon fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now, I live in San Jose, California, and I wanted to drive and take my time. I knew I would be under the gun coming back, but I figured that I could take a leisurely drive to Albuquerque and see all the LNSs along the way. Now, the first stop I made was 2 nights in Las Vegas, so I repeated that part. And the first night I went to M&M World. I collect green M&Ms. Don't ask me why that's the only M&M I like to collect. I just think she's a little sassy and I love her attitude. Plus, my mom doesn't know what to get me for gifts a lot of times, so she wants me to collect things. And I have no problem collecting the green M&M. So what did I get in M&M World? Let me show you. First of all, I'm addicted to coffee and I drink it all the time. So I bought a green coffee mug. She's adorable. I can't get the glare off. There it goes. She's just so cute, and that lip liner is awesome. All right. I also purchased a jumbo luggage tag. I don't carry my own luggage. I have another one with the green M&M. This will be for my smaller case. And then I got needle minders. Keep in mind, M&M World calls them magnets. In the cross stitch world, we know them as needle minders or needle nannies. So I'm going to enjoy using these. And again, I have Miss Green down here. I love the red and the blue and the yellow. I like them all. The other thing that I bought, I'm going to turn into needle minders. And they are poker chips. And they have them in the green and the orange and the red and brown. So if you stay tuned at the end of my video, I'm going to offer one of these as a giveaway. And you'll be able to choose the color you want as well as which side you want to show. So one side has M&M World, the other side has the M&M. So start thinking about the color that you like. This is the red, of course, green. I love the brown. Look at those cute glasses. What's not to love? And then one orange. So if you really like the orange, you'll have to quickly get this one. The orange one always looks a little confused. And since I only have one, if this is the color you want, ask for it right away. So that's what I did at M&M World. I figured I'd rather spend some money in the shops than leave all my money on the table. And then I have something to bring home. All right. Now, that was night 1 in Las Vegas. I got there late on Tuesday night. I knew it would be a long drive, but the reason I wanted to stop in Vegas was not to gamble. It was so that I could go to Stitcher's Paradise. So I did stay 2 nights because the next morning when I woke up, I needed to get my tires rotated and the air pressure checked. But then I strolled or got in my car and drove down to Stitcher's Paradise. So let me put away the M&M stuff, and then I will pick up the Stitcher's Paradise haul. While I was getting ready to leave the hotel room on Wednesday, what I was doing, I think a lot of us do, I was watching FlossTube, and Beth from Heartstring Samplery was on, and it was an older video, about 9 or 10 months old, and she's talking about her creative process, but she also mentioned how her computer crashed and she lost 4 months of work. The work that she replaced it with is stunning because I'm a coffee addict. I mentioned that earlier with the coffee mug. I always have coffee ready to drink. If I'm not drinking coffee, I am drinking iced tea. The caffeine keeps me going. And the last pattern she showed in that video, and I'll link it down below in the notes section, was this. C is for coffee. And I knew what these berries and leaves were right away as a self-proclaimed coffee addict. They are the coffee beans and the tree. So as it wraps around the coffee cup, the steam makes the C is for coffee, but the coffee berries look like holly. They are not, but isn't it wonderful? I didn't even go into the store thinking that I would purchase this one, but when I saw it as I was flipping through, I knew that I had to have it. I believe in kismet, and certain things happen for a reason, and I believe that her video popped up on my feed and I had to have this pattern. If you're watching, I'm sorry that you lost your work, but I do really plan to stitch this, and I love it just the same. The next pattern, I didn't have a Halloween pattern, and I didn't really feel the need to get one, but when I came across this lovely pattern by Kit and Kirby, I had to have it. I don't know that you can see, but the letters are very variegated, and I love that orange to black shade. It says, when black cats prowl and pumpkins gleam, may luck be yours on Halloween. I love it. And when I went through my Cross Stitcher online magazine, they had the October issue out. So I was surprised that they also have, something very similar. When black cats prowl and pumpkins gleam, may luck be yours. It's not straight, on Halloween. So what I like about mine is that it's simpler. And just seeing this one in the Cross Stitcher magazine, I do not know that I would have wanted to stitch it because it's busy. This is the October 2019 issue, and it's out now. The next pattern I bought at Stitcher's Paradise is the peace ornament, or ornaments, and I love the blue. Now, I do have something similar to this in my shopping list, in my wish list at 123 Stitch, but whenever possible, I do like buying from L&S's since they don't get as much business as they need to stay afloat. So again, the blues are stunning. I bet Darling Bluebell would love this one too. And I look forward to starting this. The last two patterns I purchased are, I think they're companion pieces, and there's a set of 4. You probably don't know because I didn't tell you, but this is the second time I've recorded this segment. And the reason I had to change was I was talking about this pattern, and I love it. And this was the second pattern I saw from Ink Circles, but I also liked the sharp edges in the first one I saw over here. Now, why did I have to restart it, this video? I had to restart it because I started talking about my long dog samplers and comparing the two. Now, I think I'm trying to get this bluer one to focus. All right. I believe that these are my 2 favorite of the 4, even though these are the only 2 that I saw. Now, what I found odd was on the back, if you can read, both of them call for Carrie's thread, and I'd never heard about that, or I didn't know where to get it. So I did ask the proprietress at Stitcher's Paradise if she carried it, and she doesn't. So when I get to my second stop, I'll talk more about Carrie's thread and what happened. Purchased one more thing when I was at Stitcher's Paradise, and it's this itty bitty Zappy Dots needle minder. And I saw the pattern in the store, but I didn't really want to stitch it. But I did want to own it, and seeing it as this needle minder, I snatched it up rather quickly. So I would recommend that if you're ever in Vegas, go ahead and go to Stitcher's Paradise. I wasn't really trying to eavesdrop. I was in the shop when they were talking. And the reason it caught my attention is because the customer was from North Carolina. This shop does ship. And if you're looking for a pattern, call them if you don't have a local L&S, and they will take care of you. Before I left Vegas Thursday morning, I bought a ticket to go see Cirque du Soleil O. I wanted to see it since it started there, and for some reason or another, I just never went to see the show. I got really lucky. I was in the very last row. I couldn't quite see everything, but I saw enough. And Cirque du Soleil does a fantastic water version, and that it's called O, but it's done in this huge pool, and they have they have a ton of acrobatics, but they also have a little bit on dry land. After the show, I saw this magnet, and I thought it was glorious. And, it commemorates going to see O, but it could also be the world's largest needle minder. And I don't know if I'll use it as a needle minder or put it on my refrigerator, but it is there. Sorry about that, my telephone went off. And typically the only phone calls I get are from telemarketers, so it is rather annoying. One of the reasons I don't have a landline anymore is because the same thing was happening with that. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm Shelley70s, SHELLEY 70S. You may have seen everything that I'm already showing you, but you don't have the story behind what's going on. Wednesday night was my last night in Vegas, and I talked to you earlier about Kismet and seeing the the video from Beth. Well, Wednesday night, as I fell asleep to Carolyn, the Stash sister, and I'm going to read the title of her October 1st, 2019 video, but I fell asleep watching this, and she took a tour of a designer's house that was full of samplers. And the episode is titled Stash Sister Goes Field Tripping to Samplerland. I had already planned to go to Mesa, Arizona after I was done with Las Vegas, and I am so glad I did. Caroline is the genuine article and the real deal. Now, when I was already there shopping when she came in, and I was surprised. I wasn't expecting her to be there, but apparently that was her night to work at the attic. She came in and greeted everyone, and real genuine and open and friendly. And then she was so excited that someone had finished a project and brought it in to be framed that she wanted to show everyone someone else's work. And I think that is a great tribute to the type of person Carolyn is. And that's why I'm making her my shero of this episode. Now, I was more of a fly on a wall for this visit, and I would like to go back. I wasn't trying to spy. I was kind of brain dead and zombie-like and overwhelmed, and not by anyone, but I'd just driven in from Vegas. I didn't get much sleep, and I was tired, and I wanted to get to the attic before they closed. So I checked in and went into my hotel and then went directly to the attic. And the attic is amazing. If you even have an inkling that you want to go, you need to pack up and go now. The walls are covered in the most brilliant works of art. Now, I can't choose just one work of art that I loved, but on the back wall near the Christmas section, they had all of the Celtic seasons, the lavender and lace women, and they were stunning, or they are stunning. They're still there. It makes me want to stitch them. I won't, at least not yet, but it is something that I have kept in my mind. I've seen Jessie Marie does stuff, and I've seen a couple other people work on them as well, and I don't know if I ever will stitch them, but I'm not going to say I won't stitch them. To explain how brain dead I asked her as I was checking out, I asked her about the Ink Circles thread, and I told her that where I bought it in Stitcher's Paradise, they didn't carry Chrissy's thread. That's what I told Caroline the name of the thread was, because I couldn't remember, and I thought it was Chrissy's. And she'd never heard of that. And I told her, oh, that's okay. I just haven't had time to look it up because I've been traveling. And when I get back to the hotel, I'll look it up and see where I can get it. So what happened was, it's not called Chrissy's thread. It's called Carrie's thread. I didn't want to use the DMC alternatives, although I might have, because I didn't want to lose any of the beautiful variegations in this pattern and the other pattern that I purchased while in Vegas. Caroline was so sweet. She got on her tablet right in front of me and tried to look up the information for me. As you know, she wouldn't be able to find it because I gave her the wrong name. But if you're ever looking for Carrie's thread, I found it at ABC Stitch Therapy. I think their website is abcstitch.com, and I'll put that in the notes down below. And they had all the colors I wanted for this pattern and the companion pattern that I purchased. So what did I buy at the attic? Well, I wasn't as prolific as shopping at Stitcher's Paradise. Again, not because they didn't have the they did have the stock, except my brain wasn't functioning as I would have liked it to, and I really fell in love with the licorice all sorts. It is a long dog sampler, and there's a story on the back about licorice. And I liked the browns and the golds, and it really reminded me of autumnal colors. I purchased their last pattern, but after I got back to the hotel, I wanted to look and see if other shops had it online. Not because I was comparing prices. It was because why hadn't I seen this one? And I bought the last pattern at the attic. I'm sure they would order more, but it is on clearance at 123 Stitch for $10. And so it's up to you if you want to save a little bit of money, or you can call your local L&S and have them order it for you. The other long dog sampler pattern that I have is Rose Marquis, and I've showed that to you before, probably on my episodes 1 through 4. So I'm not going to pull it out because I haven't done very much with it. But once I finish that pattern, I'll start this new one that I just showed you. What can I say about the attic that hasn't already been said? I'm not sure because I haven't heard a lot of you and what you've had to say about it. It's a warm, inviting place. The patterns are thoughtfully laid out. I mentioned how wonderful the walls look covered in the artwork. And there was a stitching group at one of the tables, and they were having a wonderful time stitching. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. I was being more of a fly on the wall looking around. And one thing that really resonated with me is that the 3 ladies that were working were very concerned and caring of their customers. And that doesn't happen quite a lot. So to the ladies of the attic, and Caroline, you're a lady of the attic as well, I tip my hat to you. After Mesa, Arizona, I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the International Hot Air Balloon Festival. I've wanted to see it for many years. It was a bucket list idea that I thought about. And I wasn't sure that I was going to go this year, only because I would have to get back from the Hot Air Balloon Festival, which started Saturday morning, all the way back to San Jose. And I drove. And I should have gone to work today, Monday. I did not. And in case I didn't give you the date, today is Monday, October 8th, 2019. I took the day off work because I was exhausted. And even though I could have gone in and been a zombie, I decided to let a substitute do that for me. In Mesa, not in Mesa, in Albuquerque, I also looked up some cross-stitch stores. And the one that they had already closed, so I couldn't go visit that one. But I was able to go to Hip Stitch. And Hip Stitch is a quilting and fabric store. And I love their business card. As I was looking for fabric, I kept pulling bolt after bolt off. Not because, I don't know, not because I was looking at it, but because I really did want to purchase it. And what I find awesome about this itty bitty tiny shop is it's right across the street from Joanne Fabric. And I would buy my fabric there any day of the week to support her and her small shop. I'm going to go through my fabric that I purchased. And if you want any of this, you can see that there is a Gmail, and then there's a website, hipstitchabq.com. They will ship, I would say anywhere, but I'm sure they'll ship throughout the United States. Fabric that would remind me of my time in New Mexico, no matter how brief. And while I wasn't quite sure if this was pretty or hideous, it did remind me of the sunsets in New Mexico. And that's why I went ahead and purchased half a yard of this. I do not have coordinating fabrics, so I can get the coordinating fabrics here. Oh my gosh, the eyes are so creepy, right? New Mexico is known for Area 51 and Art Bell and all of that. Oh no, sorry, Art Bell's in Nevada. No? Yeah, Art Bell's in Nevada. But, oh my gosh, they're little flying saucers, aliens. I don't think everyone would automatically think New Mexico with that pattern, but look at this one. They had this in several colors. Purple is one of my favorite colors, although it's not my only favorite color because I do like them. And then I also had, because I was there for the hot air balloon fiesta, I also purchased fabric with hot air balloons on it. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know how much I love Christmas and Christmas patterns. And that's what I purchased as well. So I did organize my stack of fabric into Albuquerque, New Mexico, and into Christmas. And what I'm going to do is make fabric bags out of this. Trying to see. All right. I don't care if I have 10 Christmas cross-stitch bags. I don't care if I have 5 cross-stitch bags from Albuquerque. This one's not as stunning, but I'm a big sucker for plaid, and that's what I bought a lot of. I love snowflakes and these red birds. Another plaid. The plaid keeps going, a green plaid. And that's it for fabric. I also bought this adorable needle minder. See if it, oh, yep, hip stitch. I also bought 2 pair of scissors because, like I said, I've got to buy the colors that I like. They also had a green pair. I can see through the hose. And then I bought one more thing. Again, if you've seen this on Instagram, what I realized if I just walked by and saw the pattern, I would have thought, ugh, how garish. These are stacking pop-up patterns. And they had a sample in the store made with coordinating fabric, not what's on here. And I fell in love with the store sample, not with what's on here. And when I make my pattern, and maybe I'll make it out of one of the fabrics I just purchased, I'll definitely put it back up on a FlossTube video. I did decide to buy the other part that goes with it, and it's just the pop-up refill. I'm sure I could have found it somewhere else, but this is for the small pop-up, and I wanted to have this. Later on, if I make more, because I think they'll be great smalls for giveaways, when I make more, I'll go find it and see if other shops have it. If not, I can go back to this store and I know they'll ship me whatever I need. And so just keep them in mind to keep a little store going. Wow, that is my haul on my road trip. If you, now we're moving on to my next H, which is my happy birthday SAL, which is Java 365 SAL. I think you probably remember this if you've seen my other videos. I started it on October 1st. I did not get very far on it because I need my magnifier to help, but Mary T. Clump is joining me, and I'll put her her Instagram account on the bottom in the notes so that if you want to see two different people stitching the same pattern with their own versions, you'll be able to see what she's doing as well. I am using 25 count white Lagana, and I started on the border because for me, I could stitch this border all day long, even when I'm tired. The patterns inside are not, they're going to take a little more concentration. I mean, it isn't the most difficult pattern, but when I'm exhausted at the end of the day, a lot of times I need something simple to get through. So Mary, I look forward to stitching this with you. Because this pattern was purchased as a kit, I didn't want to use the Ada that came with it and the floss. So when I'm done, I'm going to give this away to one of my subscribers if you're interested in stitching it as well. I think that both Mary and myself are going to be able to make this look much more amazing than Designworks did in the production of the pattern. This is how I keep my floss for patterns like this. And these are just simple luggage tags. And I write the color on it. You can tell that's white. I can read upside down. I don't know if everyone can. So I am just struggling. So let me put that down and pull up a different color. All right. So this is 3864. And of course, because it's coffee, there are tans and browns quite a bit. When I am not working on the pattern, I keep my floss in a pouch like this to keep it protected. I do not leave it out so that it can get dirty or get something spilled on it. So that's my birthday SAL, and now we're on to the next H. Looking at my notes, I'm not ready to go to my last H yet. I was watching Pam and Stephanie last night, Just Keep Stitching, and they talked quite a bit about the different fabrics and floss and bag clubs that they belong to. There is a Picture This Plus fabric of the month, and they have it in two colors. They have it in neutral or colors. I looked at both options. I used the link through Pam and Steph's notes. They have a link below. I'll put their FlossTube video below, and you'll be able to click on that and go to their notes and see. I'm not sure how to get that link on my page, but I already took the survey and I joined up. I'm getting a fat quarter of neutral fabrics for 2020. I'm trying to build up a stash, and I really love Picture This Plus fabric, so I'm excited about that. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am having a giveaway this week, and I'll close it in 2 weeks. I like having a video every 2 weeks, even though this one's a little behind. I don't have many subscribers, But why shouldn't I give you something if you're coming to watch my videos? I showed you the poker chips, the M&M poker chips I had at the beginning. So do not mention freebie. Do not, you have to be 18 years old. I will ship anywhere, so it doesn't have to be in the United States. It's small. And hopefully, if you win and you're out of the country, you'll still get it. But I will ship it. So instead of freebie or giveaway, what I'd like you to type in the message is the your favorite flavor of M&M. They have the milk chocolate, they have the peanut, but then they have a wide variety of flavors. There's mint, there's raspberry. What M&M flavor is your favorite? Or do you have a favorite color of the M&M characters like I do? Leave that in the message below, and in 2 weeks before I start my next video, I will have a drawing if there's more than one person. Hey, you could be the only person that wants an M&M poker chip made into a needle minder. I'm happy to give it to you. So all you have to do is ask and leave that in the messages below. I finally made it to my final H, the International Hot Air Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico, every year. The recommendations that I was looking up, they mentioned getting at the field by 4 a.m. and walking around. I had planned on doing that, but the night before I was up all night worrying about my drive back home and getting enough sleep. I overslept, and at 6:30 I jumped out of bed, grabbed a cup of coffee from the breakfast area, and walked. I was within walking distance of the Hot Air Balloon Fiesta Park, and I walked there. I mentioned earlier that this was a bucket list item. I didn't necessarily want to go up in a gondola. Those are the baskets beneath the hot air balloons. But I wanted to see all the hot air balloons inflated and ascending and in the air. Unfortunately, this year, on the first day, it was Saturday, the balloons were not able to ascend because there were too many clouds and fog. I wasn't devastated because it looked like all of the hot air balloons inflated. When I first got there, there were maybe 16 hot air balloons, and I thought I drove here for this. But I walked all the way through the crowds. I think there were more at this crowd than the first Trump inauguration. But when I got to the other end, there were chainsaw competitions carving out of wood and a little hill behind them. So if I show you any of the videos, it's not going to have sound because all you'll hear are the chainsaws. Within the next hour, at least 80 more balloons inflated. They never took off, but it was very beautiful to see. There were some there were some shaped balloons. I didn't see the high top sneaker, but there was the Chick-fil-A chicken, there was a cow, there was Smokey the Bear, Darth Vader. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. And if you'd like to see a little bit of the video I recorded on my phone, I'll go ahead and share that with you now. And for those of you that don't care about the hot air balloon fiesta, if you're still watching, have a wonderful day and be kind to someone.